if you say that you have a sugar addiction or a food addiction, let me ask you, would you grab a cup of sugar and just do this? Or would you get a teaspoon and just eat the sugar? And the answer is usually no. And this is what completely irks me about misinformation and how it is spread. Hi, I'm Kelly Waters, the Mind and Body Architect, and I am here to shine a light on the truth. Now, so many people come to me and say to me, I've got a sugar addiction, I've got food addiction. And I ask them the exact same thing as that I said right in the beginning. Would you eat sugar spoon for spoon? And they say no. And the reason is that it's not just sugar. So one of the biggest things and misinformation out there is that people are getting off on selling information. So they're influencers, they're wanting to sell their books, so they're authors, sell their programs, and they pick one element. But let me tell you, as an expert who has been in this industry for nearly 20 years, that it is not just one element. There are multiple elements that cause food addiction, that cause binging, emotional eating. And it's not just food. It's seeing it as a whole. And if we just look at food alone, look at chocolate. So a lot of people say, I'm addicted to chocolate, but they only talk about the sugar in chocolate. It's not just sugar, it's fat. So it's the combination of the fat and the sugar and the cocoa. So it's on the taste buds, goes to your brain chemistry, and there's also a response in your body chemistry. And so there's all these things at play that's going on. And then we look at something else. So we look at ice cream. Ice cream's the same thing. So we have dairy, we have fat, and we have sugar, and many other things, of course. But these are all the things that make up a product. So I want you to start thinking laterally, start thinking for yourself. And I'm not saying that you're ignorant. I'm just saying that what we get caught into is the trap of just seeing that one element that someone picks out. And so we're caught and we create a narrow perspective of what the truth really is. And what got me jumping on this bandwagon again the other day was that I saw a video on Facebook that has had nearly 8,000 views of a guy who, had weight loss surgery and has come out the other side. And he was talking about food addiction, but he was focusing in on sugar addiction. Now they've got 8,000 views. Again, he's just narrow focusing in on things, and people are getting caught up again that it's only about sugar. No, it's not. It's about your body being malnourished from having foods that aren't whole. So the more your body is malnourished by eating processed foods and not whole foods or unprocessed foods, the more your body craves nourishment. So you're driven to find nourishment. So you become malnourished. And one of the things that I do with a lot of my clients is the first thing I do is add quality nutrition. And they then say to me for the first time, I get full fast now. Where before they said, I'm always hungry. So that's the difference. is that their body is starving of nutrients because they're only feeding them the nutrients that aren't whole. They're feeding them processed things, but they're also feeding them things that, biologically we were driven to find, millions of years ago. And now what's happened is that we've been hacked by scientists, by big industry, because they are putting together chemical equations that make foods just so enticing that it's hacking our brain chemistry, our body chemistry, and it's driving us to want more and more and more, which is making us malnourished. So one of the things that you can do for yourself is to add more quality food into everything. So even if you're having a binge, from one binger to another. Now, I lived this for 34 years of my life, okay? So I'm not only talking as someone who's got degrees in this area, but also from personal experience. So I was a food addict with binge eating disorder and obese, but I've also had anorexia, bulimia, I yo-yo dieted, you name it, I've done it. And so 34 years, I know this roller coaster. And, so one of the things that I did for myself when I changed my entire life was that I added in nutrition into my existing binges. And I found that that reduced the binges to, half. And then eventually I started to crave quality food. And bit by bit, just naturally, what I was doing was my body was wanting that healthy food. My brain chemistry was balancing and I was nourishing myself. So I want you to start thinking about what is going on in your life, and it's not purely sugar. What are the elements? And what could you do to add in some quality to the binges or more quality into your eating every day so that naturally you can start nourishing your mind and your body together to want more quality food? Now, I'm here to help you step by step. All you've got to do is book in for a discovery call and we'll see what is the next best steps for you or the best path for you. Or you can check out my program offerings. So I look forward to helping you and having the privilege to help you like I have helped hundreds and hundreds of people over nearly 20 years. Do the same.